What's going on, guys? Alan F. Ready here. I have the SEL50 f1.8 f-stop 1.8 50mm lens, and I want to do some comparison with the lens kit and kind of speak on it from a digital marketing review on if you guys are creating your own setup like I have, or product reviews, the type of lens I'm using. And actually what this one's shot with is the newer 35mm f1 stop. So I'm going to be showing you some shots I took compared with the lens kit, and what you're seeing right now is taken with the 35mm $99 lens, and I kind of go into my thoughts on if I would purchase this or use this from the setups I've used with my backdrop and kind of the live streaming that I do. I probably wouldn't use this lens, and in the end I'll show you what I would get, which is basically the Sigma Art series, so you can get a zoom lens and kind of get the distance. Let's take a look at some of the shots and then let's get right into it, guys. So the size difference is not that measurable. It's going to be connected to your lens anyway, so you won't really notice a difference. So something that you should take into consideration is what the 16mm versus the 50mm mean. It's basically the amount of zoom you get. So here you can see my setup and where the tripod is, and when we're using the lens kit you can see that you get this full range shot, but when you zoom in, this is the equivalent of the 50mm, but it doesn't have the same aperture settings. So typically for your shots, if you want to be somewhere in between 16 to 35 is where I find I typically record. And as you can see, when I zoom all the way in, you can't really see much of the frame. It's kind of too zoomed in, so that's what I would consider when purchasing. But if we take a look at the still shots, you can see that the f-stop settings really add to the bokeh effect. Something that you see a lot of in YouTube videos is, getting that bokeh effect to have the contrast of the subject and the background. So yeah, that's what I would say from this camera lens. As you can see here, so I'm actually shooting this current shot with the newer 35mm f1.7, and I showed you some shots that the lens kit does and that the E50mm does. You can see the difference in the aperture. It really gets the blends or the bokeh effect going. But for typical purposes of what I'd use for my digital marketing setup, I'd really go with the Sigma lenses, the Art series. So something I'll showcase is, they have some bundles on Amazon, whether you get the E-mount lenses adapters or not. So this one is a bundle that comes with the E-mount lens. And then you also could get the same one, 24 to 70. So typically shots that you would be doing for your digital marketing, your tripod setup, if you're doing everything from home, you're typically shooting, if you use the lens kit, you can see the amount of like crop, zoom, focus that you get. But 50mm is way too much. So I would shoot for the 24 to 70, or I would use the Sigma one, 18 to 35, and that could cover what I have right now. The 35, this is a 35mm, and it's put about maybe like 3 feet away from me. But with this lens setups, you could definitely get something perfect for your digital marketing. So I hope that, guys, helps you guys with your digital marketing and the type of camera that you could be using for your shots. And even if you do videography for your clients or whatever you end up taking, I hope it helps understanding. Basically, if I was to dumb down stuff and redo everything, just know that the shorter that the lens is, like 16mm, you get a wider angle, and then this right here, 35, is kind of zoomed in to this background. You guys have seen my other shots. I usually shoot from the lens kit, but I wanted to have the blur effect and more focus, so I went for low apertures, and that you get that from the f-stop settings. So with the ones that I recommended to you guys, the 18 to 35, you get 1.8 f-stop. The one I'm currently shooting at is 1.7, and then you could then get the other one, which is 2.8, which is still better than the lens kit. 2.8, you should still be able to get a significant amount of bokeh effect. They'll run about 900 each, and then just hook it up to 2 tripods, 2 cameras. I'm thinking about the next one being the G85. And so I'll need an adapter for that as well if I decide to go both with the Sigma Art series. Alright, hope that's helped. Hope you enjoyed the review, or not even a review, just a brief overview. Let me know in the comments below if this has helped at all, and I'll keep making content for you guys. Take it easy. Bye.